Hola. From the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva. And welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Sunday, y'all. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I know it's a lot been going on in the world. A lot been going on YouTube. We had a young lady who was murdered in Harlem, who was a freshman in college. And a 13-year-old has been arrested or has been taken into custody in relation to it, unfortunately. And it appears that another child is also connected to this. It appears that it was a robbery gone wrong, but a young lady is dead now. And then we had, I believe it was a mall shooting, and I'm not sure what part of the country it was in, but it was 2 teenagers who were arrested in regards to that. So we have a robbery where teenagers robbed somebody and killed them. That happened about a week ago. They just had the memorial this weekend. And then over the weekend, some kids start shooting up a mall. Meanwhile, we have a sad situation, to me at least, where we have content creators who are beefing with each other and calling each other out of name and being just really, really disrespectful. People being doxxed. People's names are being pulled into situations that they didn't have anything really to do with. And it's mainly women. And I'm just like, why is it so hard for us to get along? Even on the internet, where you don't even actually know the person. So why would you get into it with someone you don't really know? Why would you do something to someone you don't even know? You know, I mean, I'm just wondering. You know, it's sad to me. And I really, really do hope that all of it gets worked out, whatever way it needs to be worked out. If it's, you know, been taken to the point where they have to handle it legally offline, then so be it. But if it's just something that's going on online, you know, and you just don't like this person, even though you guys don't really know each other personally, I would just say stay out of each other's spaces. You know, it's just unfortunate, you know. You know, because you've got some good content creators that this is happening to. So it's unfortunate, or rather that are involved in this. You know, and, you know, for me, hey, Tony, how you doing? Thank you for coming. For me, I just want to be a breath of positivity. You know, I mean, I talk about autism on my blog. And when I do my not so random chats, I like to educate people, talk about a lot of different things. Hey, Debbie Love, how are you? Hey, Jack Spade. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's Sunday night. Things weren't so happy for me last night. But, you know, we're good tonight. Things are good. You know, those of you who were through here last night know that, you know, my son had a meltdown before I did the live. But we're all good tonight. Everybody's happy. Everybody's cool. Hey, Dave. How are you? David. Oh, you know, that's my son's name. He thinks I'm saying hi to him when I'm saying hi to you, David. That's funny. But one of the things I did want to talk about, and I have been talking about this before, is this real ID that we all have to get in the United States, for those of us who are in the United States, by October 20th of 2020. And, you know, if you don't believe in the New World Order, these real IDs should make you a believer, okay? Because the real IDs that we're all going to have by October of 2020 are probably just the first step in, you know, people carrying something, you know, that is an identifier to them. Now, granted, with an ID, you don't have to have it on your person all the time. You can put it down, and if, you know, if they've got any chip or anything in it, it's not following you around everywhere. But you want to wonder why they want everybody to have the exact same ID criteria, no matter what state they're in. It's basically, you know, as I said, taking it out of the state's control. Now, you do have a choice in getting the real ID. Hey, 1SP, how are you? You have a choice in getting the real ID. I mean, if you have a passport, you don't really have to have a real ID, you know, because you can travel with your passport. The real ID is to allow people to travel. So if you're not going to travel, you don't have to have a real ID or a passport. But I tell everybody, get a passport, regardless of the real ID. Even if you think you're never going to travel anywhere, get one. It'll motivate you to. But in regards to the real ID, I know that, Jack. It's just, you know, we're all adults, and I just would hope people would handle it differently. But, you know. But with the real ID, my sister has gotten one. I haven't gotten one yet. As I told you guys, I'm dragging my feet. I will not be getting one until next year, sometime. By the time I get a real ID, I will have already renewed my passport. That's the way we're working on this. And by the time my son gets a real ID, he will already have renewed his passport. You know, but you know, I'm hesitant because you guys, you know, I'm you may not know this, but I'm like a conspiracy theorist when it comes to stuff like this. Hey, Uppity, how are you? I'm talking about real ID right now. You know, but I know that there's something else coming with that. I mean, because, you know, I forget what state it's in, but it's in one state where at a specific company, they're prototyping those actual things going up under your skin and they use it for money and to get into places. It's really kind of scary to me. You know, my personal opinion is sorry guys, that's my son. My personal opinion is that that's probably the next step, because you've got willing people who don't even think it's a big deal to put some chip under your skin. Like, what the heck? I know it is, Tony. That's exactly what it is. Because now, no matter what state you're in, like if you're in California or if you're in New York and you have a real ID, for all intents and purposes, our IDs are pretty much similar. They're all supposed to be laid out the same way, I think. I don't know, but that's what I think. Yeah, I mean, you know, in regards to that, Jack, like for me, the sad thing is that some people have really good content and they got mixed up in all of this stuff, and then they stopped creating content. You know, so I'm just hoping that people get back to creating content. I know that some people have gone back to creating content. I just wish everyone would get back to creating content, because, you know, for those of us who don't really know what's going on, yes, we appreciate, you know, being warned about stuff, but it's so much conflicting information going around. I don't know what's going on, and that's just being honest. So I'm staying out of it. And I'm going to continue to grow my channel, you know, and spread positivity.
Do not.
Oh, the Minority Report. Exactly. With the real ID. Except for the Minority Report, they did, like, they could tell what was going to happen in the future. Like, they knew if someone was going to commit a criminal act before they did, based on those 3 people that they had in that. Yeah. That was really, really weird. And kind of scary that they would use people who have the gift of foresight in that manner. Yeah. And just seeing that, who knows? They could be doing that. Like I said before, they're doing, you know, when people are getting kidnapped, a lot of these people are being snatched for human experimentation. We don't know what the heck they're doing. You know, I mean, yeah, for some of it, they're using people, unfortunately, for black market body parts, but some of it is other types of experiments, and people could be doing all kinds of weird stuff. I know. I mean, it doesn't even matter that, you know, most of us put, like when I'm not using my computers, all my computers have something blocking the camera so that you can't see me, you know, so it can't just cut itself on and start looking at that. But most of us have smart TVs. And even when you cut those TVs off, they're not really off. And they have part of our information in them too. So, you know, like someone made a very good point, is for each one of your social medias, you need to have a separate email account so that none of your stuff can be cross-referenced. Isn't that wild? So that people have a harder time finding your information if they want to try to dox you. That's pretty sad. But, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine who, you know, does a lot of Bible prophecy and stuff. So he's really into stuff. And I was asking him what he thought about the Real ID things. And he was saying, you know, because now this particular person, although, you know, they are into a lot of that, they also work for like the federal government, and and work all over the place, and they have all kinds of security clearances. So he knows like stuff that he can't tell people about. But he did say that he believes that the real IDs are the first step towards, them having a universal, way of tracking everybody. It's the first step to Big Brother. Hey, AKA James, how are you? And I thought that was interesting. I mean, most of us, do you guys think it's weird that they're all of a sudden wanting everybody to get this ID? And I know some people can't get a passport, so the only way that they're going to be able to travel is with this real ID. I recognize that for some people, they're going to be forced to get the real ID. But if you can get a passport, get one. Have one. It's a smart idea. And that, as far as I can see, they're not putting chips in the passports. You know what I mean? At least not yet. But I know they're going to have some little chip inside of those things. I mean, most state licenses already have some type of, that little strip, the computer strip on the back of it that has like your driving record information on it. So I'm sure this will just make it easier to put more information that's probably of more interest outside of the states. Just wondering what they're going to be using these for other than traveling. I'm just saying, guys. Oh yeah, I know, like with the passports. And that's fine. With a passport, because you're going in international travel, that's a completely different thing. But this is like having a, passport that for only within the United States. They're now making it so that people who can't get a passport will not be able to travel unless they get this real ID. I know. Nobody talks about all people who are just being snatched daily. Obviously, there's a lot of children of color that are being snatched, and a lot of people in their 20s that are being snatched. A lot of women who are being snatched. And, some of it is the human trafficking and the sex trafficking, but some of it is, diabolical stuff, where they're using people's body parts and selling them on the black market. Others is when I believe they're doing some type of experimentation and stuff on people, and they're not just, snatching people that nobody cares about. I know, The Handmaid. Yeah, I like that show, but I hate the concept that it shows. And what's so funny is that I read The Handmaid's Tale way back when it was first written. And, just looking at that is, kind of scary, because it makes you think that that's maybe how they want to take our country, to make it puritanical, and not allow people to be free. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, the states are definitely not going to be independent with this thing. But I'll tell y'all something. It's going to be a very interesting January for us, because if our president, the president of the United States, if this man is not impeached, that will be sending a very crazy message to the American people that the executive branch can do whatever it wants with no repercussions, and it will make us more of an imperialistic society than we are at this point. And yeah, I mean, it's so crazy that our current president is, I don't know. I pray for him because I know I should, but I feel that he's morally corrupt. But I respect the election process, and so this is the person that got voted in by the Electoral College. And people just need to I think a lot of people are going to be really, really looking at those impeachment hearings. And I think that's going to really determine which way a lot of people, like myself, who are independent, that's going to really kind of determine where we're going to go. Because I'm not a liberal. I'm conservative about some things, but I'm not conservative about everything. Obviously, because as I stated yesterday, I'm pro-choice when it comes to women. And One SP and I had a nice little conversation about that yesterday. And I enjoyed that too, because he brought up some very, very good points. But I don't honestly believe the platforms which either political party, strives towards. And we all know that 100 years ago, African Americans were Republicans, and the Democrats weren't for us. Democrats weren't for us. Oh, get in, son. Oh, the fictional country. Was it Gilead? Yeah, Gilead. And then they're separate from the rest of the United States. And then people have run across the border on this show to Canada to be free. I mean, if you've seen The Handmaid's Tale, it's very, very, they're very crazy in their moral code on there. Like, any woman who is married to someone else, but they got with their current spouse and their spouse was with someone else prior to that, they're considered an adulterer. So then they're not allowed to have the sanctity of marriage. Women who live a specific lifestyle, they're automatically put into the pool to be these handmaids, and the ironic thing, is all the ones who are considered the wives, for whatever reason, can't get pregnant, but it's, and, so all of their eggs have shriveled up because of all of the stuff that happened. Yeah, you're right about Reagan. That's true. That's true. That's true. Pretty Nikki. I totally agree with that. That's why I'm nonpartisan. That's why I'm independent. I know that. You know. And what's funny is that my sister, myself, and my brother, we all vote independent. You know, but obviously our parents were Democrats. You know, because they grew up doing the civil rights. They were part of the civil rights movement and everything. But I don't necessarily think that either party is for our people. I don't think they're for the people at all. I don't think either party is for any people. I think that the parties serve the people who you see up on Capitol Hill, just the white men, and the rest of us are second class and afterthoughts in anything that gets done. That's just my honest opinion. I know Healthway. I read that book way back when it first came out. And, when this president came into office, I'm like, God, this book and this person. And it just makes you think, when he says that he wants to make America great again, that's kind of where he wants to take it, and which is crazy when he's not a morally, upstanding person, not based on his, on how he's, been married several times and, done all the cheating and all that kind of crazy mess. I know that's true, CW. But then again, we haven't had a female come through that they would vote for. That's very, very true. We have yet to have that female come. I don't think Hillary was the right person. I don't. And, although I don't particularly care for Kamala Harris, I'm not jumping up and down that she's not in the race, because it would have been nice to see a woman of color stay in the race longer. But, she's got a lot of stuff she needs to do as far as changing the opinion of the people in the state of California. You know what I mean? Hey, Go Donnie. Yeah, so we have, and then Elizabeth Warren, man, with her pretending to be a Native American self. I got more Native American in me than she has, y'all. I promise you I do. Because both of my parents had enough Native American in them that they could have gone to school for free, to college. Yeah. But they both got academic scholarships, so they didn't have to prove they're Native. They went to college on academic scholarship, so they basically went for free. But yeah, so I don't know what she has in her, 0.0001%. Oh, like, lady, get out of here. Exactly. I'm like, stop it. I'm like, woman, I got more Indian than you do. Stop it. It just looks like to me, I feel that that there was a misuse of power. That's what I feel happened. Basically, because when those two different military men came in and they said that that's the way that they interpreted it, that he was holding, aid from the Ukraine. So that's what I have a problem with. Now, the question is that an impeachable offense? Does the Republican majority Senate feel that that's an impeachable offense? But the problem is that they don't hold him accountable. It sends the message that the office of the president is untouched, and that means you have thrown out checks and balances. That's the whole point of having three branches of, the executive government, for checks and balance. And if you're not going to check him when he's doing something wrong, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, she's not for Black people. She's definitely not for Black people. And she did a lot of damage here. And then, Jerry Brown came in and tried to fix some of the stuff, because the damage that was done was because of him, when he was governor before. So before he got out of office, he tried to fix some of the stuff as far as, the laws that were clearly slanted towards the imprisonment of Black and brown people for nonviolent crimes, for, very, very easy for them to get 3 strikes versus someone who was not Black or brown, and she kept doing that. Now, I'll give her credit where credit is due. She did do a whole lot of stuff to keep the predatory lending and keep, a lot of banks from stealing people's properties from them. She did a lot of stuff with that, when she was the state attorney general. But as far as dealing with, the prison reform, yeah, she's not on that. Yeah, she's done a lot of damage. So to me, you need to get in there and mend those bridges, Wow. Interesting, Jack. I know, pretty Nikki. I know. It's one of the reasons why I don't particularly care for her. Because I have a friend who also happens to go to the same church as me, but she's really, really involved in the prison reform. And some of the things that she told us in regards to Kamala just made me cringe at some of the stuff that she's done. It's horrible. Yeah, she's horrible. Like I said, she's not for Black men. Yeah, well, the prison system is the modern day plantation. It's basically free labor. Most prisons, including state prisons, are privatized. The only ones I think that are actually like a government are the federal prisons. I believe the federal prisons may not be privatized, but the state prisons, most of them are privatized. So, yeah. You know, I mean, she don't get a pass just because she's black. Not from me. I don't care. You know? So, but I think she's positioning herself to try to be the vice presidential candidate. But I don't know if Joe Biden if he ends up getting the nomination, if that's going to happen. Because she and him don't get along. So I don't think that's going to happen. That's just my opinion, though. But she may be, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, he'll put her on there to help him with the African American vote. But that would not be a good idea because we don't want her. We don't want her. We don't want her. Yeah, we don't want her. And it's not just, you know, I'm not just speaking for myself. I say that her having to drop out at this point, and she was running fourth in the state of California, her home state. So, yeah, we don't want her. She just needs to sit down and be the junior senator from California. That's what she needs to do. I know, exactly, Jack. That's the only reason this is going on. If Joe Biden was not running for president, then, yeah, Trump probably wouldn't have done the stupid thing that he did. You know, but that just tells you, I'm like, what, dude, are you afraid of Joe Biden? You know? It doesn't make him look good anyway. Because that means he's afraid of the competition. You know? But I don't know. It might have still been an issue because, well, maybe he wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have even withheld. There wouldn't have been any. It wouldn't have even looked like he was withholding it for that reason. So yeah. I see what you're saying, Jack. That's true. I know, pretty Nikki, but she's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, aka. So at some point she's indicated that she's black because she's part of the Divine Nine. She's in a Black Greek organization, but you know, I mean, she just didn't talk too much about her blackness, you know. And her husband is not black. And I believe that her mother is Indian. It's her father that's black and her mother who's Indian. So she's biracial. Yeah, I think she's biracial. Because I've seen her mom, and her mom does not. I think her mom is Indian. I don't remember seeing her dad, though. She looks like her mother. I'm getting my tea, guys. Just 1 second. I'm coming right back. Y'all can't hear it, but my kettle was about to blow a whistle. So I had to go over there and grab it so I could get my tea. But yeah, I mean, but now we all have to go through the motions of this impeachment. And most people think that it's just going to be that he's not going to get impeached. And that's probably correct because the Senate is majority Republican. And they're more than likely not going to vote for impeachment. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought. She was Indian. She's part Indian. Oh no, that's not going to happen. I know that health weight. I know. That's the same thing with 44. If Michelle had not been black, that would have never happened. That would have never happened. You know, we all knew that his black wife is what sealed the deal for him. Make no mistake about that. Barack can think it was him, but it was really Michelle. People keep they keep talking to her about that. I'm like, Michelle's never going to run for president. Number one, she saw how crappy her husband was treated by a certain portion of the population, and just ugly stuff that was being said about him that, you would never say about any other president. It just brought out a lot of ugliness in some people. And, you can dislike, things that he did as president, but, calling him out a name and disrespecting him the way that he was when he was in there. If I were Michelle and people were approaching me, it wouldn't even cross my mind either. But they're not going to they're not ready for a black woman. They're not even ready for a woman president. So it's not going to happen yet. I think, yeah, they're not going to do it. I can't even think of when it'll possibly happen, because she would have to, whoever this woman that will finally become president will have to be out the box, head above everybody else. Yeah. She will have to be all of that in a bag of chips. She is too smart. She don't have time for that. And she doesn't like how her husband was treated. What Michelle is doing right now, Michelle is enjoying the fruits of her labor. She has a best-selling book out there. Her and Barack are set for life. For the rest of their lives, she will have Secret Service around. Maybe not the amount that they had when they were in the White House. And for right now, they're still in DC. So, but she's good. And, people talking to Oprah about doing it. I don't think Oprah would be a good idea for Oprah to do. I don't think so. They do health weight in real talk. I believe that. And we don't have, there is no shift. Not because look at our government. Look who's running our government. Most of the people that are in power are white males over a certain age. It's going to take a younger generation too. Oh, man. She lost so many points with me for that Michael Jackson thing. She lost so many points with me because I'm like, why would you do that? Every single person who has accused him of child molestation has been found to be a fraud. Every single one of those little boys who are now young men, they've all been found to be a fraud. It's all been found to be their families going after his money. Period. Point blank. That's what I'm saying. Congress is too old. Most of the people running it are over the age of 60. A lot of them are over the age of 70. I'm like, isn't Nancy Pelosi like almost 80? Child. And I am not senior citizen shaming by any means. My dad is still working at the age of 80 as a physician. But he's working because he wants to. He don't have to. All his kids are grown and gone. You know? But I just think he works because he wants to. But yeah, our she's going after Russell Simmons. Man, Oprah, you need to stop. Let the white people do these things. Do not, I mean, outside of R. Kelly, I'm not trying to be having us tearing our folks down. You know, R. Kelly, everybody knew about this man forever. They knew. And he was allowed to misbehave for years. You know? So, but Russell, I don't know. You know, I mean, they've always said things about his sexuality, you know, but dude's been married and has kids. You know, I know that doesn't mean anything, but Kamora doesn't seem like the type that would be a beard. You know what I mean? She doesn't appear to be that type of female. Exactly. We're all waiting for that one, Health Waiting Real Talk. We're all waiting for it. We're waiting for somebody to go after him. Hi, Happily Lux. How are you? Yeah, we're waiting for somebody to go after him. But see, he thinks because Epstein, you know, he thinks that maybe now he might be safe. And he probably thinks because everybody's going after R. Kelly that nobody's paying attention to him. But nah, dude, you're a rapist. You're a rapist. You're just as bad. Is it? Okay, so where are you? Are you in the UK? Happy Lux? Are you in Europe? Because if it's 7 a.m., you sound like you're in Europe. Or yeah. No, you might not be in Europe. No, 7 a.m. That's further east than Europe. Because it's afternoon in the Philippines. Y'all see, by being on YouTube, I now know what time it is in different parts of the world. Isn't that crazy? I did hear about that. I heard about that. Yeah, they're not going to be able to make that go away. But it's not the eldest. I think it's Andrew. It's not Charles. It's Andrew, the one who was married to Fergie. They're saying he has ties to Epstein. Yep. Hey, DOD. Okay, so you're in Germany. Okay, I figured you were probably in Europe when you said 7 a.m. I'm like, that sounds like Europe. Okay. Is it cold? Is it cold there right now? It's freezing here. It's freezing here. It's like, I know people like, I'm in California. Y'all, it's in the 40s, and with the wind chill factor, because the winds are blowing, they're like blowing all over the place. We got high winds. It feels like it's in the 30s. So it's really cold here. And it was cold like this last night too. Yep, it's cold. I have to turn the heat on. I hardly ever have to turn the heat on, but I have to turn the heat on tonight. Yes, we do. I found that out when I first came here, when I was in college, because I'm from the East Coast. Washington, D.C., as a matter of fact, is where I'm from. And I didn't bring like my winter coats when I first came to California. And when it got cold, like in November, and I didn't have like a good winter coat, when I went home for Christmas that year, I brought my winter coat to California, because I found out it really does get cold. It can drop down to the 30s at night. Yeah, and then if for people who live in the high desert, yeah, it can get really cold. But you know, I live closer to the beach, and so we're getting that cold. You know, it's cold here too, because the wind is coming off the ocean. It has changed a lot. Howard doesn't even look like Howard. A lot of my friends, some of my friends did go to Howard, but most people that are from DC don't go to Howard. Most of the people that go to Howard are from out of town. But I've been up to Howard in the last couple of years, because my sorority when we had our centennial, they like were all over the yard, and that was just a couple of years ago, because I'm a Delta. But no, I've been there. I actually took an engineering course in the summer when I was in high school at Howard and Maryland University through the Air Force. It was called Afrotech, because they were trying to get more African Americans to study the math and sciences in college. And it was sponsored by the Air Force. It was a good program too. Helped me out with my math when I was in college. That's why I was a math major. But DC is my hometown. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends that went to Howard. You know, a lot of my friends, because you know, some people from DC do go to Howard. I didn't go to Howard because when I was getting ready to go to college, I wanted to study architecture. That was what I initially was going to go for. And Howard did not have an accredited architecture program. So I wasn't going there, you know. It's accredited now, but it wasn't accredited then. So I did my freshman year at another HBCU. And then I left there and went to a PWI and finished at a PWI. So I got to experience both an HBCU and a PWI. And if I had to do it over again, honestly, I would have finished college at the HBCU and then come to California. But I wanted to do music. So, and I wanted to come to school out here originally, but my parents wouldn't let me go to school this far away from home. So I reapplied to the same college and got in this twice. That's why the ones that were doing that scandal, that's why that pissed me off so much, because one of the schools involved is the school that I went to, and I applied and got into that school twice. Okay? So, and these people used money to get into the school. That's not right. Yeah, engineering, they had a really good engineering school. It's just that the architecture school was good. It just wasn't accredited. But keep in mind, I went to school a long time ago. That was back in the 80s. And when I was at Hampton, it wasn't even a university. It was still an institute. It became it would, if I'd have stayed there, it would have been a university by the time I had graduated, because by the time I got out of school, Hampton was actually a university. But when I started college, it was not. But it had its architecture program was accredited by the American Institute of Architecture, which they had to be accredited with, or your architecture degree would be worth nothing. It would just be a piece of paper. Yeah, I have a couple of friends that went to Howard and a few that went to Maryland. Because like I said, when I was in that program, it was like the summer between my junior and senior year in college. And so some of the people that I met, some of them ended up going to Howard and some of them ended up going to Maryland University, because that's the two schools that they had, us going to and trying to get people to get into. So it was interesting though, taking classes on their campus. Yeah. Morgan University. No, Morgan University, that's out by Baltimore. Morgan State. You talking about Morgan State University? No, I went to Hampton. Only my freshman year though. And when I was there, it was still Hampton Institute. But by the time I got out of college, Hampton was Hampton University. So now they're called the other HU. Yeah, now they're called the other HU. That's what they call them now. Before they were called HI. And then once they became Hampton University, now people refer to Hampton as the other HU. They have like a beautiful campus right on the York River. Beautiful. But yeah, so I have my experience at both the predominantly black school and at a predominantly white school. And I transferred. Well, the reason I wanted to go to a school out here is because I wanted to do music. But the reason I purposely wanted to go to a predominantly white school was because I grew up in DC. So that's all I grew up around was us. That's all I went to school with us. Of course, I went to Catholic school. So there was a few people who, basically the white people who couldn't afford private school went to Catholic school. Because Catholic school was the cheapest private school, and the public schools in DC sucked. So, but nonetheless, I went to school with us. So I wanted to know what it was like to really be a minority, because I knew that when I went out to go work, I was going to be in the minority. And that did help me, because most of the places that I've worked, when I've been in upper management, I've most of the time been the one black face in the crowd. I don't know why people don't go to Morgan State anymore. I don't know. I know a lot of people go out to Maryland Eastern Shores. My sister almost went to school there, but she went to UCLA. Yeah, all of us, me and all of my siblings, we ended up going to school in California. I'm the only one that went to a private school. Both my sister and brother went to state schools. Yep. A lot of people go out to. They have a beautiful campus too, though. It's a nice school. I mean, there are a lot of, nice HBCUs. You got some that are down, like some of the ones down in Florida, like Bethune-Cookman stuff. Some of those schools down there, the campuses are so pretty. Tuskegee. A lot of them have like beautiful, beautiful campuses. The only sad thing is that I think only one of the HBCUs was actually started by someone who was Black, which is Bethune-Cookman. I think everybody else was somebody, who was not, who just wanted to create a school for us to go to. Yep, that's what I think. Yeah, I think Bethune-Cookman is the only one that was actually started. Well, was Tuskegee started by or did he just go to school there? I don't know. Let me see. Let me look it up. Let's look it up. Booker T. Washington. I was like, did he start Tuskegee? I'm looking it up because I don't remember. Let's see. See, he went to Hampton. I knew he went to Hampton. I knew Booker T went to Hampton. Let me see. I'll just say who's. Maybe he was just a teacher at Tuskegee. When did Tuskegee start? Okay, this is what it says. Educator, first president of Tuskegee. He was the first president of Tuskegee. That's what it is. Okay. He was the first president of Tuskegee. Really? Yeah, I remember when they used to have the telethons. Yeah, they used to have the United Negro College Fund. They used to have the telethons for that. Do they even do those anymore? I haven't seen one of those in years. I haven't seen one of those in years. I don't even think they do those anymore. Yeah, they used to have the United Negro College Fund, and they'd have that big telethon, and they'd have all the entertainers and everything there, taking the calls and everything, but I don't even think they do that anymore. That's so sad. I don't think they do that anymore. Oh, they don't do it on TV? What? Well, that was okay. Wonder why they took it off of TV then. I mean, it would make sense for at least it to be on like BET, but maybe it is on BET, and I don't have BET, so I wouldn't know. I was like, I don't even have BET anymore. So if it does, Oh, ratings. Yeah. It probably didn't get good ratings. People, for whatever reason, people don't even watch those telethon things anymore. When they're on TV, it's like pulling teeth. People don't really watch them because I don't even think they do the. I think after Jerry Lewis died, they stopped doing the muscular dystrophy one on TV. Yeah, they don't do telethons anymore. Not on TV. Yeah, they don't do them anymore. You're right. Well, public TV does. They do telethons on public TV to get donations. Like right now is when PBS is driving to get people to donate because it's December and they're trying to get people to donate at the end of the year. PBS does telethons. They'll have like programming on and they'll have people, taking calls to raise money. That's the only ones I see doing telethons now. Yep, public broadcasting. Only one, PBS. Oh yeah, they want everybody to go into debt to go to college. I like the candidates that are talking about, free college, at least, for community college, because that would give people 2 years of free college, and then they could be saving up the money for the last 2 years. That would be a good program. But I mean, there are other countries that have free college education. I think it's either Sweden or Switzerland, one of those two countries that they have free education all the way through college. See? Yeah, that's true. The basketball scholarships or the football, the athletic scholarships. They make our young men think that that's the only thing that they can do to go to, to get to college. And I mean, a lot of them do use it. Because they know they're not going to become a professional football player. Most of them aren't going to become professional football players. And the athletic scholarships are good for them, but it's a lot of wear and tear on their bodies, even for those 4 years. And they're not getting paid for it. Yeah, they are. Community colleges are free some places. They used to be, I think they used to be free in California or almost free. But they're not free here. But I know they're free in some places. But it would be nice if that was something that they could do, is like make all of the community colleges, the junior colleges free. We just want to make sure that they all are, stepping stones to going to the 4-year for the last 2 years if that person so chooses to. Which means they can take all their prerequisites and everything at a JC and then go to 4-year for the last 2 years. It would definitely cut down on how many people are getting all these loans and stuff. Because when I was in school, I thought it was expensive when I was in school, but now it's just like, I think at the school that I went to school at, I think the tuition is like over $60,000 a year now. So that means that someone's going to pay $240,000 to get a 4-year degree. That's the house. Guys, that's a house. Yeah. I mean, even the state schools in most states are expensive now. They're making it harder and harder for people to go to school. I mean, you do have some colleges that have online programs where you could, take classes at your leisure, and some of them are not as expensive as, actually being in classrooms, but still, it's not cheap to go to college. Yeah. Yeah, they did vote for that. I'm gonna see how that works, though. I'm gonna see how that works for the players. See if they really do get something out of it. It would be nice because they don't allow the athletes to work. All they can do is play ball. So we'll see, if they get those, those endorsements and stuff while they're in school, if that gives them a little bit of extra money. Yeah, so that might help out. That might help them out a little bit. But for all intents and purposes, the colleges get most of the money, I guess, while they're in school. I don't know how much of it will, in order for them to get some, it's going to have to go to them too. We'll see. I don't know how that's going to work, though. It would be nice if they could get that money. It would be nice if they could get that money and it not, not be violating any rules. I don't think it's going to happen unless that student is somebody like like Tiger Woods when he was in undergrad, or somebody who's a Heisman Trophy contender in football, or a college basketball player, can be endorsed because he's wearing Nikes or whoever's basketball shoe. Maybe those kind, but it's still not going to be everybody. It's going to still be far and few between that are even going to get it. So, it's only going to be a few of them. I don't think it's going to be an open gate of endorsements that are going to come through. I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I'm just looking to see if I missed anything in the chat. So are those of you who celebrate the holidays that are coming up, are those of you who celebrate them, because I know a lot of people don't, prepared, with whatever you're going to have for them, because it looks like this year Christmas and Hanukkah are going to be real close together. So I was just wondering if anybody was ready. I'll be talking about the origins of Christmas this week. Want to do it before it falls upon us. So I'll be doing the origins of Christmas, and what that day originally was, and how it became the day that we celebrate the birth of Yeshua, even though we know he wasn't born in December. But I'll tell you what, the histrionics on it, because there is a pagan god whose birthday whose birthday it really is. And it all goes back to Constantine. But, I'll talk about that, during the week. That'll be some interesting commentary, especially considering that holiday is coming up. And, a lot of people do celebrate it. Obviously they celebrate it for other reasons, and some people do celebrate it for the religious reasons. But, it's pretty much commercialized worldwide. A lot of countries celebrate it, interestingly enough. So I'll definitely go through that. And about, St. Nicholas and Santa Claus, all that stuff. But I think that it's going to be a very interesting first of the year with the impeachment hearings. But I just don't think it's going to turn out the way people think it's going to turn out. I mean, I still think, regardless of what happens in those hearings, it still is putting a stain on this presidency. Even if he's cleared, so to speak. But I'll watch some of it. Oh, did you guys hear about what happened to the Hallmark Channel? The Hallmark Channel pulled an ad from this company called Zolo. That was, I guess, 2 women getting married. And because a conservative group protested. So now the company, who was advertising not just that one commercial, but a bunch of different commercials on Hallmark, has pulled all of its advertisement from Hallmark. But I don't know why they're surprised that Hallmark did that, or because people think of Hallmark as being a wholesome channel, and for whatever reason, showing 2 women getting married, I guess it's a blight on that to them, which is ridiculous to me, because I can understand if it wasn't legal, but it's legal. So it's the law of the land. Let it go. And one group shouldn't be dictating something like that, because it was nothing offensive in the commercial that I could see. So it's just my opinion about it, though. That was just very interesting, and I like the Hallmark Channel. They've got, you know, all those, you know, holiday movies that come out on there. I like those. So, but I do think that was not a good move for Hallmark. They were trying to, I guess, please one segment of their audience, but at the same time, I think they ended up offending another segment of their audience. So that's why I don't think it was a good move for them. You know, it's a no-win situation for them. But now they've lost this company putting ads on their channel. So their pockets are basically being stripped. You know, very interesting though that they kowtow to that. You know, I mean, you know, my personal views aside, I just think that it was probably not the right thing to do. Just looking to see who's still here. Let's see. I'm just looking in the chat, guys. That one says there's 3 people. Okay. Let's see. I hope you guys are smashing the like button. Or did. Oh, yeah. Y'all smashed the like button. Thank you. Thank you for smashing the like button, guys. I just had to go come out of StreamYard and go over to YouTube to look around. But, you know, I just wanted to kind of go back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the program, you know, in regards to just some of the stuff that's going on YouTube. It does sadden me, you know, like I said, none of us really know each other. I mean, I hope that in the summer, I plan on going to VidCon. So I hope that at VidCon, I'll meet some of the other content creators, you know, that come out to VidCon, you know, and some people are going to come out there because they're serious about their content creating, you know, even though they're doing this for fun, they still take it seriously. You know, like I take my content seriously, you know, I'm trying to get it to the point of being monetized, but at the same time, I'm just like looking around and I know a lot of these people have been active content creators for a lot of years. I've been on YouTube. I just wasn't creating any content on my channel, you know, until this year. I had a couple of things, but you know, it wasn't anything. It was like a backyard party at the house I used to have. That I used to have with my mom. But yeah, that's the only thing I put on there before this year. But you know, just looking at everything that's going on, you know, it does sadden me, it does disappoint me. And yeah, I'm somebody on the outside looking in. I'm not anybody, you know. I'm just another content creator on YouTube, you know, who, you know, has gone to some of the people's platforms that are involved in this, you know, and like their content and stuff. And then, you know, you're watching these women going back and forth with each other. And I don't know all the details, and I don't really need to know them because it's really none of my business. I just think the whole situation is just unfortunate that it's playing out on social media instead of whatever the beef is. You know, I don't even understand people not liking somebody that they don't know. I guess that's weird to me. I don't know. Now, if the person's done something to you personally, yeah, okay, I can understand that. But if they haven't done anything to you and you just hating, I don't get that. You know, I guess I'm, you know, of the naivety, thinking that, you know, everyone should be supporting everyone. You know, even if you don't, if you don't have exactly the same views, then agree to disagree and move on from there. But you know, if you're operating in the same space, then you know it just shouldn't be like this. But you know, looking at it, it's like it's a bunch of different spaces that all the stuff is happening in or has happened in, and now all of the people from all these different spaces are involved in this big whirlwind. You know, it's, I guess I just don't understand, you know, that I guess I don't understand that mentality. You know, maybe, you know, because I know I'm pretty sure that I'm older than most of the people that are involved in this. But the people that are involved in this are not children. Everybody's an adult. We're talking about people in their 30s and their 40s. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, and when some people have gotten pulled into some of the stuff that were really innocent parties, that's, you know, sad to me as well, because then they are going on and off of, you know, the platform or not creating content because of stuff that's going on. And I just want, you know, those of you who are still creating your content, please continue to create your content. Please continue to put some positivity out there, you know, because that's really what we should be doing on here. You know, I mean, even when I talked about, you know, the dark side of autism last night, you know, because of a meltdown with my son. Even in talking about that, I still brought out the bright side of the situation. I still told you guys, you know, things that I was going to do so that, you know, we could start to help him to correct this, you know. And that's kind of, you know, how I am. Maybe I'm the optimist, you know, but I just think that some of the stuff going on could probably very easily be resolved that people would listen to each other and would respect each other, you know. But hopefully they will eventually, you know. But I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, guys. I am going to be putting out a video on tomorrow. I think it'll be tomorrow, if I can get it edited by tomorrow. That is going to be a motivational video for people who are caregivers. So even if you know anyone who's a caregiver, or you know someone who's a parent, because parents are caregivers even for their kids and stuff. But I'm just going to put it out there, especially for those who are dealing with people who may have a disability. I'm going to be putting that out Probably tomorrow. It won't be a long video. It's just kind of something I want to put out for like a motivation on Monday, ironically. So I'm gonna try to get it, videotaped and edited so that I can put it up before the end of tomorrow and have it up before I come on. Hey, Miss Pamela. How are you? Let me see. I'm going to go to your page. Go to channel. All right, let me see if I can put it in. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it on here. How are you, Miss Pamela? How are you doing? I hope you are doing good. Thank you for coming in. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Much better tonight. My son is in a happy mood. Just like I told you guys last night. He was so sorry today. All he wanted to do was hug me and kiss me. Because he knew he had done something really, really wrong. But we just got to get him past it. We got to get him to the point where he's not doing it. We got to get him to the point where he is not doing it at all. But I know that's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I keep looking for this and I can't never find it. Oh, you guys, on some gossip stuff. It appears that Tasha K has revealed Alexa Sky's baby daddy. And it ain't Fetty. But we knew it wasn't Fetty. And she's also been talking about the spiral of Miss April Jones. These people, they out here in California just tripping. Because best believe April gonna have to go get a job. April is going to have to go get a job. Because I don't think that their money is going to get paid. I don't think they're going to really make that money on name of that Love and Hip Hop. I don't think they're going to get it. Yeah, he's doing better today. Today is a better day. Today is a better day than yesterday was. And that's why I was like, with all the stuff, I was looking at all of the stuff because like today, like I told you guys, it was hard because I was in so much, pain last night that I really didn't sleep that well. But I did get up and I went to church, and and I went up there and I had them to really, pray and talk to David, and I'm not as in much in as much pain now. Hey, Emmanuel. Thank you for coming. You know, but that was really, and then I came home, and after church, guys, I came home and I like passed out, and the games were watching me. They were just watching me. I didn't see any of the games today. I was asleep, and then when I did wake up, I came on to YouTube, and then I just saw all kinds of stuff that was going on, and I was just like, wow. It's just crazy, guys. But, I'm going to keep pressing on, because I got a channel to build. I got a message to get out. So I'm going to keep doing what I do. Especially, with taking you guys through, the journey with my son as he goes through his ABA. That's going to, I'm going to try to do some more vlogs where he's in the vlogs and stuff, because I'm going to be doing some art therapy with him, because I'm taking a certification for it right now, and then I'm going to be doing some art therapy with him. And since I do actually paint, guys, I'm thinking of doing a vlog where I'll do I'll give you guys a time lapse of me doing a painting. Because I have one that's in my head that I want to do. I just got to get the canvas, and the paint supplies to do it. But I'm thinking about doing that. I might do it during the holidays too. Because I think I'll have the time. No, you didn't tell me that. Well, Miss Pamela, for me, my son was on meds for a short period of time because he was part of the actual clinical trial for Abilify, which they now use for people with autism, and it's because of the results when he was on that. But the side effects of the Abilify were still too much for me. They weren't as bad as the ones for, Adderall or the Ritalin, but they're still, they still weren't ones that I was just concerned, and my son was sad, and it made him gain a whole bunch of weight. So he had a pie face, and he would be sad. So I didn't like that. And he wasn't himself. He was like so mellow that he wasn't himself at all. And I'd rather try to deal with the stuff that we're dealing with a different way, because I don't want something to make him not be him in order for him to, handle his emotions. So, but it's, with the meds, it's a personal choice, and it's a difficult choice to make. It's difficult to not have them on the meds when you have to, go the holistic way. But I just think that that's the best thing for my son, because we did try the meds. So it's not like we didn't try it. We tried it and we decided it wasn't for him. Yeah. Go back and I did a video on meds, Pamela. Go back and check in my vlogs. I did a vlog and I talked about the meds, and I talked about the side effects of each one of the three main ones that they give kids on the autism spectrum. And I talked about the side effects. So you can take a look at that, and just so you know. It's just something to keep in mind. You know, no, nobody knows what I really go through. I mean, obviously, that's not for public consumption. You know, like I said, last night, I said I'm not one of those ones who you will never see my son act in the midst of having a meltdown. I'm not going to tape that. You know, but I will, you know, tape him having success. You know, when he has success, when things happen, and he doesn't, and we have successful times. Those are the things that we will put on there. But I'll tell you guys about the things that happen, because I think that's part of why I'm here, because people need to know, because nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it, you know, and you know, every person on the autism spectrum is different. Literally, they're all different. So just depending on, you know, where they are. You know, my son is considered mild to moderate because he doesn't sit down and have a full, complete conversation with you. If he started having full, complete conversations with you, then they would call him high functioning. It's just that crazy, you know, as to how they classify them. But it's a spectrum, you know. But with my son, as I told you guys before, I believe for my son, it was the vaccinations. And the CDC does know that those vaccinations bundled cause boys who are black or brown to have a higher propensity of getting autism. They're not born with it. Just so you guys know. Oh, thank you, Miss Pamela. I thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we're getting ready to change him to a gluten-free diet. I got to figure out how to make celery juice taste good so he can detox. So I can try to get some of the metals out of him, because he probably does have a abundance, because he drinks a lot of water. And California water, filtered or not, still has some metals in it. So, and talk to his doctor and talk to the herbalist and start to put some stuff together for him. You know? Because, you know, I am seriously looking at CBD. You know, obviously, it comes in a whole bunch of different forms. So I just got to really kind of wrap my head around it, you know, and figure out what will be the best. Because now that is not considered on the same thing as you know, marijuana, they've separated the two. I can go to like a you know, like one of the natural shops or herbalists, and I can kind of, you know, get that together if we're gonna try some CBD for him. So I'm glad that happened. But you know, there's some other things that he's doing, like the melatonin. So I'm just, you know, really putting everything together for him to have a, you know, a more holistic plan. Because although the meds did help, he wasn't himself, you know, and that might be fine for some people, but it was it was not good for us, you know. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, the CBD oil. I'm thinking about the CBD oil. Because I think you can, some of the things are topicals, but you can just rub it in, but you know, but it'll get in and it'll help to calm. It'll help him to calm down. Because they're more, you know, anti-anxiety. And, you know, with someone on the autism spectrum, a lot of times that's when they're having the meltdowns and stuff, it's anxiety. Something is triggering the overload, you know, so we just got to figure it out with him and, you know, try to help him to avoid getting to that point. Yeah, everybody's different. They really, really are. You know, every person on the autism spectrum is different. I told y'all, I found an older gentleman that's here on YouTube, and he's been on here for years. He's called the Autism Werewolf, and he has autism. He's high functioning. And I went and looked at some of his videos. And he, you know, and then I have, you know, I've got some other friends that are out here on YouTube. That happen to be on the spectrum. That are what you would consider high functioning. You know? Just trying to get him to where he has to be, though. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna work, you know. It's going to work. You know, you just gotta get, you know, just have to get him through the program. You know, the lady from the CPR services is going to be out here early this week, and they're going to come during the day, and I'm going to have a conversation with them when he's not here, so we'll be able to go over some stuff. So I'll just, like, you know, since I work from home, I'll just do my lunchtime when they get here, and just do it that way. And I'll let you guys know about how that service works, because I know that they don't just work with people on the autism spectrum. I know they work with other things. So I'll let people know about that as well. You know, because it's a service that apparently is only available, you know, lots of things are only available in California, but yeah. So I'll give more information about that so I can tell people about that in a video coming up. Yes, thank God he's sleeping, or he's upstairs. Let's just say that. He went upstairs. Yeah, he went upstairs. Yeah, he went upstairs. But yeah, I want to start doing some art therapy with him. I want to do music therapy with him, but I haven't taken the certification for that yet, because music therapy works really well with people on the autism spectrum. They don't really have a whole bunch of music therapy things out here. I know that they have, that's probably something that's bigger, that they have a few places in Texas, but they're starting to get more here. So I'm working on getting certified for that, so that I can do music therapy with him too. You know, because I know it may not sound like it, but I play several instruments. One of them very well. The other ones I play okay, but I'm getting better at the acoustic guitar. I'm getting better at it. But the one I play well is the flute. And I'm okay on the keyboard. You know, he plays the keyboard better than I do. But there's a place that's in my area that gives lessons to people on the autism spectrum, you know, in different instruments. So that's one of the things that we're going to do next year. You know, while he's going through his ABA, we're also going to get him into the program where he's taking some lessons, so that when he gets ready to try out for that program he really wants to go into, he'll have a little bit more under his belt as far as music. You know, he'll have some actual formal training already. So, you know, even if it's just learning how to play a few songs on the piano. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He loves music. Yeah. He has, well, my keyboards are in his room, so he can play them. Yeah. I used to have, when I had my last house, I had a studio in my house. And so I had all my music equipment in there, including the keyboards and everything. And when I moved to this condo, I still have everything. I just don't have everything set up. Because, you know, most of everything is in my laptop now, but the keyboards and everything up in his room. Thank you, Emmanuel. I try, you know. You know, I mean, people ask me how I do it. I don't know. I just know that I love my son. I love my son. So I'm going to do whatever I have to do for him, you know. And my job is to protect him, because even though he's an adult, he did not ask to be here. He did not ask for autism. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm here, I'm going to help him, you know, but I'm going to help him to become independent, so that hopefully when I'm not here, he'll be able to do as much on his own as he possibly can without assistance, and be able to live as independently as he can. But I plan on being here until I'm 100. I plan on living to be 100. So yeah, I don't plan on being gone anytime soon, y'all. Oh, he just came back downstairs. He must have known I was talking about him. Hey, son. I'm fine. We'll be done in a few minutes. Mommy's just we're only gonna be on here for a few more minutes. Let me see your phone. Is it dead? Did it die? Let me see it. Let me see your phone. Let me grab it. Let me see. Oh yeah, your phone died. Okay. So that's why he came back downstairs. His phone died. He needs the charger. He didn't come down here because he loves me. He came down here because he needs my daggone charger, y'all. That's the only reason he came down here. I swear. He wants my charger. All right, let me see. Let me look at my phone. Let me see how much battery I have. Well, I have more than you do. So I'll let you plug up. See, y'all, I'm so nice to him. It's gonna be a minute before you can use it though, sweetie. Exactly, Pamela. Exactly. Had nothing to do with he didn't want to see me. He just wants my charger. He just wants my charger. Let me see, is your phone? Yeah, it's gonna take it a minute because it's dead. And he has an iPhone, so you know, with the iPhone, if you let it die, it takes at least 15 minutes before the phone will boot back up. Sometimes, and yeah, it's been dead for a minute, so it's gonna be a minute before it comes back up. Pamela said, "How are you, David?" Say, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
He said he's fine, Pamela. He said, I'm fine, Pamela. You heard him say your name? He said Pamela. Yeah, you hear him saying your name? Oh, please do, Emmanuel. Please do. Please do. Yes, please do. Please let her take a look at it and everything. You know, let her know there's someone on YouTube representing for the parents of an adult. Yeah, because I know that most of the parents that are on here, their kids are kids. There's only one other one on here other than myself, and her daughter is blind and autistic, and her channel is called Autistic Interpretations. And she doesn't upload videos as much as I do. I think she does more on her Instagram than she does on her YouTube. But she has a YouTube channel too. That's the only other one that I know that is a parent of an adult on the spectrum. Yeah. The other ones, I mean, there are some adults on the spectrum that have channels on here too. Like Aspie World, he's huge. He's in the UK. And yeah, he's huge. He actually was at VidCon this summer just passed, and they were able to get YouTube to have I guess one of the forums of meetings that they had where they were talking about people that were special needs and having more visibility of that on the platform. So hopefully there'll be more channels focusing on this. Hey, Darren. I know. And I usually catch yours. I usually catch the replay of yours. Because y'all do y'all lives, and it's not early morning for y'all, but it's early morning for me. And I'll come on, and when I come on, everybody, there'll be like 4 or 5 people who have already gone live by the time I come on. Because I don't come on until, somewhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock West Coast time. And by that time, people have already done lives. So I usually will miss them and just watch the replays when I come on. No worries. I catch you when I can. Your day starts before mine. Sometimes I'm up early and I catch people, the ones that are on early in the morning. Like sometimes I'm up like between 5 and 6 my time, and I'll actually jump into the lives people have if I'm up. Because one time I was up and Raining Woman was on. I didn't jump down in the live, but I brought it up so I could hear the music she was playing. Yeah, no, I'm not up at 4 in the morning. I can't, the fact that I work from home, that speaks for itself. That means that I literally, I get up, I go get my coffee, and I get my son together. But yeah, if I'm up early, it has something. It's because I had to get up for an early meeting. That's the only way I'm going to be online early. Because we have half of our staff that's on the East Coast. So like Friday, I had a 7 o'clock meeting my time. Yeah, but most of the time, I don't start work until 7:30 in the morning because I need my coffee. And I need to have drank a little bit of it before I start to work. I need to have drank a little bit of it before I start working. I'm glad I don't have to leave the house to go to work, though. I'm glad I don't have to leave the house.
Yeah.
You know. But Darren, you know what? I'm gonna get with you on how to come up with on how to put my brand, you know, my watermark and stuff together. I'm figuring out what I want it to be. So I'm gonna reach out to you to see if you can help me with doing it so I can have it on, you know, on my videos and, you know, and here on StreamYard. I know, Pam. I have to have my coffee in the morning. I mean, it's all anybody's gonna get on me is the lady at the coffee place gets a buenos dias out of me. Buenos dias while I'm getting my coffee. I was like, and she's fortunate that I'm able to switch between English and Spanish without my coffee. She's fortunate that I can do that. Shoot. But no, I gotta have my coffee. I know. I gotta have it. I just have to have 1 cup. 1 cup is all I need. I only need 1 cup. And I wanted to have some coffee before I got on here tonight. But yeah, the coffee place was closed, so I couldn't have any coffee tonight. So I have to wait until tomorrow. I'm disappointed about that. But they better be open in the morning or it's going to be a problem. But I'm getting ready to end tonight's live, guys. I will be back on tomorrow, though. I promise. I'll be back on tomorrow. And at that time, I may start on some of the stuff in regards to Christmas tomorrow. I'm not sure. But look for my motivation video that I'm trying to get together. I'm hoping I'll have it up tomorrow. Hopefully. But I will be back on tomorrow night for some more of the Not So Random chat. Bringing more positivity to these YouTube streets. Until then, guys, I offer you peace and blessings from the West Side. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. What up?